they announced on SmackDown last week, for the first time ever, and this has been rumored for a while, but now it's official, WWE is set to induct matches into the WWE Hall of Fame, starting with Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 13. Now, I don't know if we've talked about this before as far as something, whether I would think they would do it. I feel like if they were going to do this, they would have started 10, 15 years ago, but they're doing it now, probably as a way to get more people into the Hall of Fame ceremony. It's separate this year. It's not after SmackDown anymore. I mean, it airs after SmackDown, but it's in a separate building, and you have to pay fucking $300 to get in to watch, Michelle McCool give her induction speech. No thanks. But yeah, they're probably doing that as a marketing tactic, because they did say Bret Hart's going to be there, and as we know, Stone Cold Steve Austin will be there, charging $500 for his meet and greet, but also charging you to get into the Hall of Fame as well. So, initial thoughts, Mr. Marceau. I don't think it's necessary based on the title of this video, but I want to get your thoughts. Why do you think they should or should not be doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is strictly a UFC TKO thing. I mean, UFC's been doing it for a while now. I mean, to me, I think it's more important than like the celebrities. I mean, the celebrities they bring in, they're kind of one-off. They really don't really add anything to the company. It was kind of just they put them in there. But I feel like the matches specifically, and I know the UFC's done this as well. It's kind of like moments that either made a person's career or kind of like put them on superstardom. Like I said before, like the first one that got inducted for UFC was the finals between Stephen Bonner and Forrest Griffin, the first Ultimate Fighter season finale, and they basically said like it was so successful and that's what kept UFC afloat. Kind of scanning through the list here, there's just kind of other either big fights or like something like someone had their big first win and kind of propelled their career. And I think similar to this, like Stone Cold and Bret, obviously it was a great match, and then it kind of shot Stone Cold into superstardom, had the double turn there. Stone Cold then went on to main event WrestleMania the year after and kind of become the star that he has now obviously became. And obviously Bret is great as well. So I think obviously depending on the matches, I feel like you should be picking the better ones, but I think immortalizing those are like people can see like, oh, that match was one of the best. This is what happened. This kind of what turned their career. So I like it better than the celebrities. Obviously, don't put all these bad matches in, but obviously I think that would be a great first one to put in.
Yeah, do you think, you kind of mentioned it there, do you think this replaces the Celebrity Hall or the Celebrity Wing? Because they had Muhammad Ali going last year, so it's not like we haven't seen it in recent years. We haven't had a Warrior Award recipient in a year or two. Do you think this replaces that stuff?
Yeah, I would say so. Like I said, I'm looking at the UFC, so they have 4 different wings of their Hall of Fame. It's Pioneer. Not sure exactly how they define that. I'm assuming it's someone that they say pioneered but they have some recent people on here, or last 10 to 15 years. Then they have a modern wing. Not sure exactly. Like I said, it's kind of a mix of both.
Yeah.
They have contributors. That seems like just people that are like either matchmakers, creators, commissioners, people that are involved in UFC, and then they have the fight one as well. So, I mean, I like I said, I think it should have. The celebrity one's just dumb. It's like, oh, Trump's in it, and it's like, oh, why was he in it? Oh, because the match at WrestleMania 23. Okay, I guess. And like they hosted WrestleMania 4 and 5, and then it's like this person and that person that like we're so one off that I'd rather them focus on like the match itself. Like I said, I think is way more important for like new fans or people trying to get in the product. You can look at that one single thing like, oh, this match is revered as a great match, so I should watch it. And like I said, then it can kind of like snowball from there.
I guess I'm just surprised they didn't start doing this sooner. I mean, there have been fan theories about this and even reports about it like years ago. I'm surprised they didn't start doing this at WrestleMania 30. Because the big 30th anniversary of Mania, we're inducting Hogan and Andre. You would think, because someone had said like, oh, if they were ever to induct matches, what would be the first match it inducted? And I'm assuming it's just matches and not WrestleMania matches. I mean, this is a Mania match from Mania 13, but I assume it's going to be any match ever. I'm kind of surprised it's not Hogan and Andre, but do you think the fact that Hogan is toxic right now for a lot of different reasons, that's probably why they're not inducting that? Maybe they might wait until after he's dead. I don't know, but I'm surprised it's not that match.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly have never seen the entire match. I've heard it overall. It's not a great match.
No, yeah.
At all. So, like, I think if you're going to put the first match in, something that's not like something back, I would say pre-2000s, I feel like you said, Austin and Hart would probably be the one I'd put in for WWE. I mean, like I said, it's a great moment. Put Stone Cold on the map. helped Bret Hart's career. They're both still alive. They're both, like you said, not toxic or in the bad faith with the community. So I think that's just a good first one to go. And yeah, I mean, Hogan, like you said, the Hogan Andre, I feel like is more like just obviously the slam and the leg drop. Yeah. But yeah, I don't mind it at all, honestly.
Well, they did say, I think they're branding it as immortal matches and moments. So, I mean, Hogan and Andre isn't the greatest match of all time. It's not even in the top fucking 500. But, like, greatest moments, it's certainly up there. Probably the biggest moment in WWE history that kind of further kicked off, the success of WrestleMania and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I guess back to the UFC question, does this technically make Stone Cold and Bret Hart, who, by the way, I think Steve Austin was already scheduled to be at Mania. We already talked about him being at WWE World and charging, an arm and a leg for his fucking WWE World shit, which is partly WWE's doing, obviously, but they might be doing it because Steve Austin's there anyway. They don't know if they can get him for future, WrestleManias and whatnot. So if he's there, induct a match of his, it makes sense. What was I going to say? Oh, on the UFC front, does this technically make Steve Austin and Bret Hart 2-time and 3-time respective Hall of Famers? I mean, Austin's already in once. Bret Hart's already in twice. In the UFC, does that make Stephen Bonner? I don't know if he's already in on his own.
He's not in on his own. Okay. I don't know how. I guess I really don't know how that works. I mean,
yeah.
I know Forrest Griffin has already won, but like you said, I feel like it's just like the moment itself. I don't like. Do they get rings? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, they don't really televise it, so I'm not sure exactly how they do it. But yeah, I'm looking at here. Like you said, it says immortal moment category is established to honor historic or influential matches. Bret and Austin will be the first one. Sounds like they retired the legacy wing. Says it here. And then the Warrior, they said they're unsure of its future. But yeah. I mean, like I said, I like it better than the celebrity wing. If you want me to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the whole UFC connection is definitely helping with them go in that direction.
Yeah, no, that's definitely influential for sure. Daniel said $300 for the Hall of Fame, shaking my head. Yeah, I think so. I mean, you could check yourself, but if you go to Ticketmaster, I'm sure, because it's a smaller, it's not even like an arena, it's Vegas, so there's smaller banquet halls type things, and I think they want to, it's a TKO thing. They want to make as much money as possible. Johnny even said that. TKO wants to get as much of your money, your hard-earned dollar for sporting events. I mean, that's just their MO, and it's working so far, so they're going to keep doing it until it doesn't work. He also said WWE should induct pay-per-view shows, Mania 17, SummerSlam 02. I already don't agree with inducting matches. I agree even less with inducting shows. Where do you stand on that?
I don't hate that. Like I said, I think it's similar to the matches, like depending on the show, I feel like could be subjective. I think the matches are pretty, I think matches you can pretty much say it was a great match or what, or like the moment. The whole pay-per-view, I don't hate it, the idea, but I would stick more to matches than the pay-per-views.
Yeah, I guess you could. Those would be places to start. Mania 17, SummerSlam 02, Money in the Bank 2011. But then the well kind of runs dry beyond that. What are you going to induct fucking Crown Jewel 2018 with, Shawn Michaels getting back in the ring? Like you said, it's kind of subjective. Daniel said in correction, he said, nah, not shake my head, SMD, I meant those initials. All right, my bad, I should correct myself there. He also said, speaking of Muhammad Ali, I'm glad The Rock finally stopped carrying that belt in his recent appearances. He looked goofy. Yeah, the People's Champion belt. I'm surprised he actually stopped wearing it, because I think he thought he was an actual champion by wearing it. But, maybe he brings it back when we see him again, who knows. And D Professor, thanks for joining. He said WWE under TKO is becoming greedy. They've been greedy. WWE's always been greedy, but now they have a reason to be greedy because the product's doing well. But let me ask you, Mr. Marceau, if we are inducting matches now, the cat's out of the bag now. You can't go back. They're going to start inducting matches. I'm not a fan of it, but that's just where we are. What would you induct going forward as far as matches that you think would want to see in the Hall of Fame, you think belong in there? I mentioned Hogan and Andre. We talked about that. What other matches you think belong in the WWE Hall of Fame in the future?
I like how you just dropped that on me.
Hey, got to keep you on your toes, right?
Big question, like what do you think?
Yeah.
Hogan and Andre, like the moment itself, obviously. I would say Rock and Hogan from 18, the moment, yep. Obviously. That was big. I'm assuming they'd probably put Warrior and Hogan from WrestleMania 6 in.
Yeah.
Shawn and Ramon from 10.
Shawn and Taker at some point, I would think.
Shawn and Taker from 25 or 26. I mean, both those matches are great.
Yeah.
Maybe Cena Rock from 28. I mean, it's not the greatest, but like
that's
a
moment.
That's the moment of Cena sitting on the ramp will live in infamy. I mean, Rollins from 31. I'm assuming that moment, obviously, him the heist of the century. It's probably one of the greatest endings in WrestleMania history. They'll throw Cody in there down the line of beating Roman.
Those are all Mania moments. Any ones that come to mind from outside of WrestleMania? CM Punk beating John Cena, I could see in there at some point, like years down the road for Money in the Bank 2011.
Yeah, I wonder. Like I said, I wonder if it's going to be just WrestleMania matches or moments, or it's going to be, like you said, it was kind of broad the way they put it. It said influential moments and matches, didn't specify WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but if you said like other matches, like you said, Punk and Cena,
I could see maybe
like
Trish
the first Elimination Chamber, maybe.
Yeah,
in 2002, that was a great match. What else did you say?
Oh, Trish and Lita on Raw. I mean, I'm thinking of a women's match, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, was it the greatest match ever? No, but it was like the first women's, like.
I mean, the Playboy evening gown match from 20 probably in there.
Well, that's a given, right?
It was a classic from that same show. Should be on there, WrestleMania 20. Probably the first Money in the Bank. I assume they probably throw a Bowen in there somewhere.
Wait, if they induct the first Money in the Bank match, doesn't that make Chris Benoit a WWE Hall of Famer? He's in the match. That makes Chris Benoit a WWE Hall of Famer.
Was he in that match?
Yeah, I think he was.
I don't think he was.
I think he was. Daniel said, first of all, he agrees with Cody Roman at 40 will be in there one day. But he also said Triple H, Cactus Jack, Rumble 2000. Yeah, that's a good one. I agree with that.
Good one.
And Melina Alicia Fox, of course.
Damn, he is. Yeah, Edge beat Jericho, Benjamin, Benoit, Christian, and Kane. Fuck. I forgot.
So that match is not going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's not going in. Fuck. What was 22?
Maybe you can't induct Triple H, Shawn, and Benoit from Mania 20 either, even though that match is amazing.
Yeah, he wasn't in the match at WrestleMania 22, so maybe they'll do that one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, no, he wasn't in that one. Any Money in the Bank that he's
matches.
Not in.
I mean, honestly, like the Cena return at Royal Rumble 2008 will be on. That moment alone is huge.
If it's a moment, then yeah.
Triple H pointing up the knee when he came back from the quad.
Yep.
Exactly.
Triple H will be in like 20 times.
I feel like you can get some good longevity out of it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Triple H, when all is said and done, will probably be like a 10-time Hall of Famer. But, it is what it is. If they're worthy, then whatever. Alexa said Hogan and Andre, we mentioned that. Cody and Punk, or Cena and Punk, rather, but it's obviously too early, she said. Shawn and Taker, we said that. Rollins cashing in, you said that. Reigns and Cody, too, you mentioned that. Brock and Roman SummerSlam at the Tractor. Yeah, maybe down the road. That was a great moment, though. And then Becky, Charlotte, Rousey, first main event at WrestleMania. I mean, obviously the match isn't great, and she knows that. But, as an influential women's match, it's either Trish and Lita on Raw, which would probably go in first, in that one. I mean, as far as like women's, maybe Charlotte and Sasha main eventing Hell in a Cell when we were there in 2016. First pay-per-view women's main event.
Yep, put it on.
How low in the fucking bottom of the barrel are we going here? John Cena RVD One Night Stand 06. Daniel said,
that's a good one.
I could see that one. That's a great one. Alexis said Edge returning in the Rumble 2020. I could see that. You mentioned Cena in the Rumble. Mr. Marceau did. Justin, joining us. Thank you for joining us. He said Brock and Ambrose Mania. Is that a real answer? Brock and Ambrose Mania 32. Hey, today is the anniversary. If that's your favorite match. Oh yeah, of course. Of course, probably the biggest moment not outside of WrestleMania. Daniel mentioned this. I totally forgot about it. There was a fucking dark side of the ring about it. Mankind and Taker, Hell in a Cell.
I put the first Hell in a Cell in over it. Kane, Taker, Shawn.
Mankind getting tossed off is one of the biggest moments in company history.
Better match.
Second. What'd you say?
That can come second.
They both should be in there, though, for sure. Absolutely. Have you been keeping up with Dark Side of the Ring yet so far this season?
I saw last week's, the Hell in a Cell one. I didn't see the Ludwig Borga one yet.
The Ludwig Borga one is, I knew nothing about the guy. I thought it was interesting, and Cornette's got some good lines on that one.
Good.
It's definitely worth checking out. So, Alexis also said Cody returning, Punk return. I mean, how many fucking moments are we going to induct here?
We're going to put Braun beating Goldberg at WrestleMania 36? Or?
Yeah, why not, right? It's a world title match at Mania. Roman beating Bray and Braun for the title to start his reign. The start of the Tribal Chief is what she's saying.
Oh, I thought you meant Braun's reign.
No, I think that's what she meant. Oh, okay. Justin said my pick was a joke. Justin, we almost had to kick you off the stream here when you said that. So he's clarifying. He's saying he actually was serious, but now he's saying it's a joke in retrospect. I kid, Justin. I know what you meant.